The studio demanded a happy ending where the hero lives. Brad Pitt threatened to quit unless the head stayed in the box. The film tells you exactly what's going to happen in the opening credits. John Doe wins, and the movie was designed to make you realize you wanted him to. Every frame of Seven was crafted to trap you in moral darkness you can't escape. Here's how David Fincher turned a serial killer movie into a confession booth. Fact number 1. The opening credits reveal John Doe's entire plan. The opening title sequence shows exactly what John Doe is doing to prepare for his murders. Flashes of hands cutting words from books with razors. That's how he makes his untraceable messages. Images of photographs being developed in chemical baths. Those become evidence at crime scenes. Fingers scraping away skin with blades. He's removing his fingerprints so he can't be identified. Every single image in those credits is a literal step in John Doe's process. The notebook pages covered in obsessive handwriting, the Bible verses being marked, the disturbing photographs being arranged. It's all his planning journal. Fincher is showing you the killer's preparation, but the images flash by so quickly and distorted that you may not recognize what you're actually seeing. By the time you reach the ending and realize John Doe planned everything for over a year, you can rewatch those credits and see his entire methodology laid out in the first 3 minutes. Fact number 2. Brad Pitt fought to keep the ending. Studios wanted Mills to live. New Line Cinema executives hated the original ending and demanded changes. They wanted Mills to either shoot over John Doe's shoulder, missing intentionally, or Somerset to shoot Doe before Mills could pull the trigger. Either way, the hero doesn't commit murder and walks away. Pitt read these alternate endings and told the studio, "The head stays in the box or I don't show up." He understood that changing the ending would destroy the film's entire purpose. If Mills doesn't pull the trigger, John Doe doesn't win, and the story becomes pointless. Pitt's refusal to compromise saved Seven from becoming just another serial killer procedural. Fact number 3. The city has no name because it represents every city. Seven never identifies its location. No city names, no landmarks, no regional dialects. This wasn't budget constraints. It was deliberate universal symbolism. The nameless city represents urban decay everywhere, a hell that could exist in any major American city. Fincher mixed architectural elements from multiple cities: New York's grimy streets, Los Angeles's urban sprawl, San Francisco's claustrophobia. The constant rain was artificial, making the city feel perpetually drowning in its own filth. By refusing to name the location, the film forces viewers to recognize their own city in this hellscape. The unnamed city is your city. Fact number 4. Brad Pitt's real injury forced a script rewrite. The cast became part of the story. During the chase scene where Mills pursues John Doe through the rain, Brad Pitt slipped and put his arm through a car windshield, severing a tendon and requiring emergency surgery. The injury was so severe that Pitt's arm had to be in a cast for months, right in the middle of filming. Most productions would have shut down or recast the role. Instead, Fincher rewrote the script to incorporate the injury. Mills now has his arm in a cast for the rest of the film, and they added the line where he tells Somerset he was chasing a suspect. The injury became a character backstory. This accident actually strengthened the storytelling. Mills's visible wound foreshadows his deeper psychological wounding at the film's end. Fact number 5. John Doe represents the seventh sin. John Doe isn't just killing people representing the 7 sins. He's committing them himself. Gluttony, forcing the victim to eat. Greed, the lawyer surrounded by money. Sloth, keeping a man barely alive. Lust, the weapon strapped to the client. Pride, the model choosing death. Envy, John Doe envies Mills's life. Wrath, Mills kills in rage. But John Doe is also pride. He's so convinced of his moral superiority that he judges and executes people for sins he commits himself. He embodies the very corruption he claims to expose. The genius is how the film positions him as a prophet when he's actually the worst sinner in the story. By making the audience initially sympathize with his disgust at society, Fincher reveals our own capacity for self-righteous violence. We are John Doe. Fact number 6. Somerset was going to kill John Doe. Watch his hand. In the final scene, Somerset raises his gun and aims at John Doe's head. For several seconds, he considers executing him before Mills can act. Watch Morgan Freeman's performance. His finger tightens on the trigger. His face shows the decision forming. Then he lowers the gun. This moment reveals that Somerset has already chosen to leave this world. He's not stopping Mills because he's heroic. He's stepping back because he's given up. Somerset represents the sin of sloth, spiritual apathy. He's so world-weary that he won't act even to prevent murder. His retirement isn't escape, it's surrender. The film's real tragedy isn't Mills committing murder. It's Somerset doing nothing to stop it. Fact number 7. The sloth victim was alive for a year. When they discover the sloth victim, Somerset says the man has been kept alive exactly 1 year. This isn't random. It reveals John Doe's meticulous planning timeline. He's been executing this plan for at least a year before the film begins, meaning every murder was choreographed long before Mills and Somerset started investigating. The horror of this detail is that John Doe has been feeding, medicating, and monitoring this victim for 365 days while simultaneously planning 6 other murders. The sloth victim's suffering wasn't rage or impulse. It was sustained, calculated torture that required daily maintenance. This single victim proves John Doe isn't a monster acting on urges. He's a methodical planner who experiences his victims suffering for extended periods and feels nothing. Fact number 8. Kevin Spacey demanded his name be removed from opening credits. Kevin Spacey was supposed to receive top billing alongside Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in the opening credits. The studio wanted his star power advertised from the first frame, but Spacey insisted his name be completely removed from the opening, appearing only in the end credits. His reasoning was brilliant. If audiences see Kevin Spacey's name in the opening, but he doesn't appear for the first hour of the film, they'd immediately know he must be John Doe. By removing his credit, viewers had no idea a major actor was playing the killer until the reveal. The suspense works because audiences aren't waiting for Spacey to appear. Fact number 9. The library scene reveals John Doe was watching them. When Somerset researches the 7 deadly sins at the library, he requests specific books: Dante's Inferno, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, Paradise Lost. The film shows him filling out request cards for these exact texts. Later, FBI analysis of John Doe's library records shows he checked out these same books. But watch the timing. John Doe checked out the books after Somerset requested them. Doe was in the library watching Somerset research, then borrowed the same books to leave a trail. He wanted to be caught, but only after completing his work. Every clue Somerset finds was deliberately planted. They were never hunting John Doe. He was herding them toward the desert. Fact number 10. The final sin depends on which character you follow. The film's brilliance is that the 7th sin changes depending on whose perspective you take. Mills commits wrath by killing John Doe. John Doe commits envy by killing Tracy. But Somerset commits sloth by failing to prevent either murder. The ending works because all 3 men are guilty. Mills becomes a murderer. Doe completes his masterpiece. Somerset fails to stop evil despite claiming moral superiority. The film refuses to tell you which character's sin is the real 7th sin because they're all equally damned. By leaving this ambiguous, Fincher forces viewers to choose which sin they consider worst, revealing their own moral priorities. The 7th sin isn't in the movie. It's in you, deciding which failure matters most. And there you have it. 10 facts proving 7's power comes from moral complexity that refuses easy answers. This masterpiece was built on uncomfortable truths about human nature. Which fact changed how you see the film? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love these insights, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into cinema's darkest corners.